as though you were physically in the office when you were actually working from home or abroad. And another big one was gaming.
Check one, check two, check one, check two. 1, 2, 3, audio test. 1, 2, 3, audio test. Test audio, test audio. 1, 2, 3. Test audio, test audio. 1, 2, 3. All right, now that's hearable, gotta be, and I'm going to try turning that up properly. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, that's not the one that matters. What about this one? That's the one that matters. Perfect. Again, this matters too, right? Oh yeah, that matters. Perfect. It's exactly what I want. Ba ba bum bum ba ba dum bum ba da dum bum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'd like to see levels a little higher than this, I think. But it is set for 43. We'll go for 45. And we will check that the gate is not clamping, which it is not. And that the compressor is not compressing. 1, 2, check 1, 2. Compression, compressing. I can turn the gain up. Let's give it 50. In today's rock and roll world, give it 50. Give it 50. I don't care if you think it's too much. It's not. Give it 50. It's what I said. Now, I'm seeing proper levels here. What about you? Are you hearing proper levels? Proper levels. Proper. Foot to the fucking floor. Proper levels is what I'm saying. Here on my Omnivox channel when nobody is watching. Ha 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 ha. Nobody can see me here. I'm all alone. I've got to put the headphones on. The headphonies. Ah, beautiful. I hear myself again at about the right volume. What if I get really loud? Still, I don't distort. What if I stay really quiet or I whisper? Can you still hear me if I whisper? Yes, you can. Welcome to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room. Welcome to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in my $30 microphone. That's what you need. Got my cough button. Cough button, cough button. Button, cough button, cough button, cough button. Okay. Check. YouTube is not that far behind me, really. Because I'm the only person watching me on YouTube right now. Ha. But yesterday, I read some book. I have to put that away. I cannot possibly hear myself a couple seconds later and enjoy that. I'm not that interesting. Hey, Don. Thanks for stopping by, John. It is coining around. There's always time for coining around, baby. Oh, I did some reading the other day, which is fine. And I love reading, so it doesn't matter to me that I did it. But my recording of it didn't turn out. My YouTube recording of it's fine, but it was my plan to record it locally and just hit the pause button between sort of parts. And that did not turn out because of settings and things. So many settings, John. So many settings, man. Hey, Stickman, thank you. Yeah, so pretty much want to record that again. And now that I'm more familiar with the material, probably do even better job. So I think I'm going to do that today. And just, I've got it set up as a slideshow. So as soon as I hit the button, up comes the book right on my biggest screen, and I can. You want me to turn up the bit rate? Okay, how the frig do I do that? And I've been sorting out this stupid program with regards to streaming here. Maximum video bitrate 5100. My stream's current bitrate is lower than the recommended rate. I should be sending friggin' HD for Pete's sake. I don't know. I'm set for 5100 kbps. They're getting 2670 kbps. What's the stick about that, brother? Should be getting good. Am I sending out a HD signal? I'd better be. I better be in HD. Heavy freaking duty. I wish my doggy was right beside me, but my doggy barely cares at all. Oh, you can hear that well. Is there an HD here? 720? Yeah, 1080p, 60 HD beauty. Okay, well, I do. I am. Robert Worley, thanks for coming by, brother. I should just move this up here so I can keep an eye on you guys. This one here goes down, gets out of the way. What the hell am I showing you guys? This is, that. Gonna close that, get it out of the way. What should I do? Oh, yeah, I should just display this on the other screen. Yeah, a bit of a waste of time yesterday, unfortunately, but not gonna whine about that, don't you know? Who cares, right? Who cares about that? I don't care about that. You don't care about that. You certainly don't give a shit about that, so why would I? Let's all stop caring together as one, in unison. 1, 2, 3, fuck it. Beautiful. Okay. And, you know, pre-reading something you want to read for a recording never hurts anyway, so all I'm really needing now is coffee. And I'm setting up my tablet to the right of me here so I can switch easily between screens. I can go with the mouse. And mouse over here and switch over. See what we've got for video. Oh, geez, that's the table of plenty over there. You can clearly see. I like that much better in the dark. And then that's that camera too. I moved that one today already. We'll probably put a block up in that window. But this is the biggest camera. If I could just, if you could, now I got the camera, this one. That's a iPhone that I use for my overhead shot with a well, not pirated. If you want to use DroidCam OBS for your OBS, you can do that. And if you don't want to pay for the license, which is super cheap, you just get the water spot, the watermark. For putting me in. Thanks for putting me in. Being great. Ha! Let me fix that, Robert. You deserve it. This is this is what you call channel number 2, right? I'm not as on it over here. I'm not broadcasting on the main channel right now. Just because I'm going to walk around and be an idiot and just fuck around and whatever, and I don't intend to apologize to anybody for anything. In fact, I went through all of my subscriptions on this channel. So if you are still subscribed by me to you on this channel, you are lucky. Because I trimmed the dead wood. Anyway, what the hell was I going to do? Time bag left. Right. I want to block that window. Well, that's going to happen in infinitum. That's pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder how computers feel about that. If I was a computer, I'd be pissed off. I wonder if that's a way to make enemies in the world of computers. Maybe I shouldn't do that. No, seriously. If you were like the most logically thinking thing that could possibly be, you know what? I think that might be being a digital dick. I'm just saying. If you're the most logical thinking being or system that could possibly be, and some stupid ass analog fucking animal takes your digital and throws it in a loop, and it keeps getting smaller and smaller, but it never stops because there's nothing to stop it. And the analog animal just says, oh, well, look at that, how it does another picture, then it does another picture. And then once it does pictures small enough, analog animal has no idea because he's stupid and eyes only work so well. But the system doesn't give a flying fuck. It keeps on making little pictures ad infinitum. And if you were a sentient or semi-sentient digital being, I bet you that would piss you off. Just saying. What do you think? Am I wrong? Anyway, I could be wrong. I think I need to ask Elon. This up here, like a so. Get this here, get this here, drop that down, like that there. This here and did that there. All right. If a good farmer knows about this here and did that there. All right. Oh, I might as well set up the crane shot too while I'm here. I will keep the dime bag banner up because you don't see my fat ass moving around and realize what a fucking walrus I am over here. Ha! Hey. Oh. I'm conscious enough to admit it, but that doesn't mean you all got to revel in it. Trying to keep my ugly to a minimum. Like when you're a young lady and you keep your crazy down. Well, I'm an old man and I keep my ugly to a minimum when I can. Sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes that's not enough. I don't know. It's hard to be everybody's good buddy when there's so many people out there. Some of us are going through a lot. Some of us are going through nothing. And all is well. And then, you know, I don't mean to be burdensome on people, but I've run into a couple people lately who weren't in their best shape. And when they ran into me and in my jokes and stupidity, hurt some feelings, which, ouch. I know when it comes to hurt feelings, a lot of times that's a whatever, but what if you actually did like the person and then they say, I don't think I guess I didn't like that guy or whatever. I really like that guy, I did. Maybe I can make that better over time. Time usually is what it takes. But I guess I ran into a friend at a hard time and I wasn't making it any easier. Oh well. God knows I mean better. That's all I gotta worry about. Just working out the crane camera here, which is the old Apple. You might ask me if it's such a good software, why don't I pay for it? And I do for my Android. So I just grabbed the free version for the Apple here. This thing doesn't work that great on the Apple, honestly, but it usually works. Come on, little buddy, you can do it. Now there's plenty of battery. Okay. So I stumble bum my way around here. I am set for crane shot to be on. Droid Cam OBS to be on. I have the phone here. Properties. Deactivate. Activate. Deactivate. Stop. Are you sure connection will be closed? Yes. Okay. Activate. Restart. Come on, you can do it. There, you did it. I knew you could. Okay, so this is the Apple 11. That's kind of a spare around the house. I'll turn it sideways. Perfect. I have this stand with a phone clamp on the top, and I just put this into the phone clamp. Then I take this whole thing, I put it on the shelf behind me, set up high, set up high, push that over just a little bit, zoom in a little, more. Now I'm being a perfectionist jerk. I'll take that. Whew. Okay. So close. Welcome to maintenance at Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room. Really is. I like that light. I'll turn it up as bright as it goes. That's a pretty good light, actually. Just little things take a lot out of a person when you're not healthy. Damn. Okay, test stream is up. Audio is separate from DroidCam OBS. I don't need that to come up. That can be set to be hidden. Hide. Nice. See now, if you see to the left on the screen there, every time I talk, we got a separate little meter that bounces up and down right there. So I know my audio will go into the video that I record using OBS here. That's OBS. That is the program that if you're using StreamYard, then you use this just to handle the video part, switching the changing cameras, whatever. But if you then want to use this program and the record button over here to record a video, then you have to make sure you have the audio added, otherwise your video won't have any audio. Duh. So the video I made the other day, the one that I edited on the fly, has no audio. I don't want to just read over it. I'd rather do it again, kind of. So right now you can see my shot right now in the corner up here. Actually, I point right there. Using DroidCam app. DroidCam is the app you want if you want to use any of your cell phones as a camera, like I'm doing right now. There it is. It's there. All right. I can make that screen go dim too. Just there's a little dim thing. It's dim and it would be dark, which makes the battery last way longer. So hang on. That's a smart thing. Oh, frig, I hate moving around. You know what? I need more coffee anyway. So there. 100% good reason. Now the headphones aren't wireless, so I will leave you, but I'll be right back with more coffee and more bullshit. Probably more bullshit than coffee. Ha ha ha. Hang around. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum. Bum 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 dun 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 dun. That's backwards. Did I fix it? I did fix it over there, didn't I? Okay, I don't care. We'll just dim it. We'll just dim it. I make coffee for a reason. La-di-di. I know I make coffee for a reason. La-di-di. I'm in the kitchen. La-di-di. La-di-di. Making coffee for my friends. La-di-di. Okay. That's my kitten. That wasn't her making that noise. It was me. the show. You want to come on the panel? You want to eat a treaty? You want to come up and eat a treaty? Little sweetie? Well, if you do, you'll be in the way. But that'll be okay. Oh, look at you. Did somebody say something about a treat? Oh, you stinker. I know Mama's not here, so you're not getting anywhere near the kind of treat level that you used to get. I know you're missing out. I know you are. All right, kitten. You're my kitten. I take care of you. You're my responsibility. One of my many responsibilities. No, back up. Now you're too frickin' eager. Little fart. You're going to be getting a treat. You're going to be doing it for the love of the channel. Come on, shithead. I'm not doing all this prep so that you can walk away and be a dick. Or dickette, as the case may be. Okay, you're right up here now. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted, except you're head of the shot now. No one called you to the stage yet. This is not your shot. Miss Cat. Let's get the overhead shot. Okay, wait a second here. Gotta get that out of the way. With stupid cat in the way. She'll be walking in that in no time. Okay. Hang on. I gotta lose that. There we go. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're gonna back my coffee off there too. You giant freaking cat. You giant freaking cat. Should I get you all riled up so you take a swat at me? So you show the people what a meanie you can be? Nah, lately you haven't been a meanie. Lately you really haven't. You talk to me a little bit, which you do. Because when she doesn't like it, she'll tell you. And she doesn't like most things. But she's a big kitty. Oh, so big. Okay, no more teasing. Let's get you some. Because I got other things to do too besides treat you. Hang on a sec. I still want good footage of treating you. We're going to throw this camera over here for a moment, which is something we can do here at Dimebag Darren World Headquarters. Whoa. Just clamp it on there for a moment. And there's Kitten. That's Kitten No Name. Spell it no name. Kitten No Name. Hi, Kitten No Name. Wait. I have to see it when it comes out. There we go. Today we're getting the chicken one. I think the chicken one is the one she likes the least, it seems to me. But she likes them all. But I've seen her walk away from this one, not even finish the whole, like this. She's not disinterested, it's just not her favorite, is what I get. I should probably squeeze it out a little more quickly so she doesn't end up getting disinterested and wasting it. Because that's what I don't want. Apparently the stuff is, I mean, if you were to look at it from the point of view what other cat food can cost, I suppose cat food in general can be pretty expensive for cats. But I think this is the Go-Gurt of cat food. Probably pretty expensive. But the wife keeps them around and makes sure I have plenty of them because otherwise the cat won't have anything to do with me. Come on, shithead. Let's finish this off. Never mind whatever that is. Let's finish this. Come on. There's more. This is what I mean with the chicken. Yeah, I just want you to finish off the tube. Just don't waste the tube. That's all I'm saying. She hates being held, so if I hold her just for a little bit, she'll be done with me quickly. She's already pushing off. Okay. Good kitten. I love you anyway. We'll put her down on the floor. Ooh, she looked like she wanted to take a shot. Kidding. When you put her down on the floor, she looks back at you with a little bit of menace in her eyes with like a, what the hell? I'm just bifurcating my beans here. I don't know what that means. That might mean something. If that means it's something, I don't know what it means, just so you know that I don't know, I don't know. So if that means a thing, sorry. There we go. I should stop exerting myself, even if barely even exertion. But well worth it. Well worth it to cuddle your kitty. Is that a cow? Oh, watermelon. Well, that cat is an M-A-N-X, Manx, who is 4 years old now. So I think there's only one more year of actual growth. I think we're supposed to grow for about 5 years or so. So yeah. And such. Okay. So that means I'll have to do the whole video over again from the point of view of the recording. So I'm going to want a couple establishing shots. Let's get the book up. Do the welcome back. I'll hide the bookmark. There. So what's the overhead shot look like now? That's reasonably respectable. We could go with that. Get rid of the phony. This is where we could use the logo. Get that right in there, as blurry as it is. That tool can be put away. Brush my hair. Brush your hair. Share your face. Okay, hair brushed. All Richard Attenborough style. Give the glasses a cleaning so it looks like they matter. They matter. Gray matter, they matter. What's the matter? What's the matter for you? What's the matter? Look at my book, how its corners are bashed in. My hard-covered book, caving in at the corners. Bring the microphone appropriately close. Check 1, 2. All right, put the headphones on. Headphones on. Wire tangled in everything. And move the tabletta back into spot because we moved it out of the way for the kitten. The only thing I don't really want is this in the shot. So we'll just turn the microphone a little more like this. There. Perfect. We would open with that. Check, check, check. Good, good, good. Levels are high. And in a second, I'm going to hit the start recording button, do the intro, and then you'll see. I'll show you. I don't take too long before I pause. I only read half a page at a time. So I'm going to reread what I read the other day. If you were here for that, thank you. If you're here again, thank you. If you haven't heard it, it is book 4, blah, 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 the book. Anyway, you'll see. Welcome back to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room. Thank you again for joining. We're back with Isaac Asimov's Foundation series, My Favorite Story. Now, it has been a while since I've given you another installment on this. That's my fault, but I said that at the outset that this would come in fits and spurts because that's how I knew I was going to be doing it. I didn't think it would be so long before I read you some more, especially considering the next 2 bits are short. But please go through the playlist, listen to it, get caught up. It is the story. Listen, this is the story that Elon Musk lives his life by, and I shit you not. Now, for good or for bad, whatever that happens to be, this is it. Anyway, that being said, and you can look into that for yourself and enjoy that when you do, we're going to get into the first bit of this here. Let me just switch over to that now. Boom. Book 4, The Traders, Chapter 1. Coming up next on Dimebag Darren World Headquarters from it, here right now on the Omnivox channel, and adding to the book. Okay, so I hit the pause button. Half a page at a time. Yeah, because I put that half a page on the screen, and I found that a full page didn't fill the screen very well, and so I couldn't even see it all that well. So you'll see. I have no drink for myself, though, which is stupid. So I think I need that. Oh, I did. I brought my coffee. There it is. Oh, see, I was more prepared than I thought. I was thinking I typically have water when I do this as well, but you know what? The coffee will do just fine, considering I just made it. There's some ASMR for you. I don't actually have to have the book in front of me, but I'm going to do one fade into the book, and then we'll start. So it'll be like, no words said. Here we go. Now I pause that. I can put the book away. Okay, so it's my normal method to read the thing through once and then read it for the recording. And I did it last time, and even though I've read this once already, I'll do the exact same thing and read through what I'm going to record, and then I will read it over again for the recording. Here we go. Book 4, The Traders, Chapter 1, Traders. And constantly in advance of the political hegemony of the Foundation were the traders, reaching out tenuous fingerholds through the tremendous distances of the periphery. Months or years might pass between landings on terminus, and their ships were often nothing more than patch quilts of homemade repairs and improvisations. Their honesty was none of the highest. Their daring. Through it all, they forged an empire more enduring than the pseudo-religious despotism of the Four Kingdoms. Tales without end are told of these massively lonely figures who bore half seriously, half mockingly a motto adopted from one of Salvor Hardin's epigrams: "Never let your sense of morals prevent you from doing what is right." Okay, hang on, that's fine. Give me just a moment. I'm going to move that to here. Now that I don't need the book shot, I do not need to keep my microphone off to the side, and I'm going to want that right in front like that. It is difficult now to tell which tales are real and which are apocryphal. There are none, probably, that have not suffered some exaggeration. Encyclopedia Galactica. Okay, so we're going to read this. I'm going to unpause. I'm going to check your chat. You read good, thank you. That is the whole idea. I do this. I've been made, like, this is one of the things I love to do. And I started doing this book because I felt like it. I had people discourage me, and I stopped, and I got my courage back, and I started again. And I promised to do it, but I also promised to do it in little bits and fits and starts, and that's I'm just fulfilling my promise to me at this point. So here we go. Unpausing and reading this. Book 4, The Traders, Chapter 1, Traders. And constantly in advance of the political hegemony of the Foundation were the traders, reaching out tenuous fingerholds through tremendous distances of the periphery. Months or years might pass between landings on terminus, and their ships were often nothing more than patch quilts of homemade repairs and improvisations. Their honesty was none of the highest. Their daring. Through it all, they forged an empire more enduring than the pseudo-religious despotism of the Four Kingdoms. Tales without end are told of these massively lonely figures who bore half seriously, half mockingly, a motto adopted from one of Salvor Hardin's epigrams. Never let your sense of morals prevent you from doing what is right. It is difficult now to tell which tales are real and which are apocryphal. There are none, probably, that have not suffered some exaggeration. Encyclopedia Galactica. And paused. Okay, we got a good read. We hit the next button and go on to slide number 2. Limmer Ponyitz was completely a lather. When the call reached his receiver. Now, you know what? I want to, just before we read this, there's something pretty significant here I want to share with you just quickly. I'm not going to change the shot. But what I am going to do, okay, so we're in the book that would be called Foundation right now. And I just want you to know that Foundation was first published in 1951. All right? When you read along with me, when you close your eyes and just let me read to you, I want you to keep that in mind. This was written in 51. All right? Limmer Ponyitz was completely a lather when the call reached his receiver, which proves the old bromide about telemessages in the bathtub hold true, even in the dark, hard space of the galactic periphery. Luckily, that part of a freelance ship which is not given over to miscellaneous merchandise is extremely snug. So much so, the shower, hot water included, is located in a 2x4 cubby 10 feet from the control panels. Ponyitz heard the staccato rattle of the receiver quite plainly. Dripping suds and a curse, he stepped out to adjust the vocal, and 3 hours later, a second trade ship was alongside, and a grinning youngster entered through the air tube between the ships. Ponyitz rattled his best chair forward and perched himself on the pilot's swivel. "What have you been doing, Gorm?" "No, what have you been doing, Gorm?" "What have you been doing, Gorm?" he asked darkly. "Chasing me all the way from the Foundation?" Les Gorm broke out a cigarette and shook his head definitely. "Me? Not a chance. I'm just the sucker who happened to land on Gliptal 4 the day after the mail, so they sent me out after you with this." The tiny gleaming sphere changed hands, and Gorm added, "It's confidential, super secret. Can't be trusted to the sub-ether and all that." Or, so I gather. At least it's a personal capsule and won't open for anyone but you. And we would pause right there. So that's good. I can get through that. All a lather. He's all a lather. Okay. Poised over the pause button. Let's have a little drink. Drinky poo. See, this process it incorporates the editing. Hopefully I will not do any editing at all. And little things, little gaffes I'm going to leave in. So a tiny gaff will be just fine. Otherwise, and I should get this out right now, I have my editor's click, and I will be able to look on an audio file and find that click and know that that's where an edit needs to happen. I'll keep that around my right wrist to place those markers as necessary. And now I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it now. I'm going to read it. wish that didn't make any noise. All right. Here we go. As soon as I don't hear that jet plane anymore. But the air show in my local area will be coming up soon, and pretty soon it's going to be air show traffic overhead. That could be that right there. I don't think it is, though. Limmer Ponyets was completely a lather when the call reached his receiver, which proves the old bromide about telemessages and the bathtub holds true even in the dark, hard space of the galactic periphery. Luckily, that part of a freelance ship that is not given over to miscellaneous merchandise is extremely snug. So much so that the shower, hot water included, is located in a 2x4 cubby 10 feet from the control panels. Ponyets heard the staccato rattle of the receiver quite plainly. Dripping suds and a curse, he stepped out to adjust the vocal, and 3 hours later a second trade ship was alongside, and a grinning youngster entered through the air tube between the ships. Ponyets rattled his best chair forward and perched himself on the pilot swivel. "What you been doing, Gorm?" he asked darkly. "Chasing me all the way from the Foundation?" Les Gorm broke out a cigarette, shook his head definitively. "Me? Not a chance. I'm just the sucker who happened to land on Glyphtal 4 the day after the mail, so they sent me out after you with this." The tiny gleaming sphere changed hands, and Gorm added, "It's confidential, super secret. Couldn't be trusted to the sub-ether and all that. Or so I gather. At least it's a personal capsule, so it won't open for anyone but you." Paused. All right, so we'll read on. Checking the chat. Robert's hanging with me. Ponyets regarded the capsule distastefully. "I can see that, and I never knew one of these to hold good news either." It opened in his hand, and the thin, transparent tape unrolled stiffly. His eyes swept the message quickly, for when the last of the tape had emerged, the first had already browned and crinkled. In a minute and a half, it turned black and, molecule by molecule, fallen apart. Ponyets grunted hollowly. "Oh, galaxy." Les Gorm said quietly, "Can I help somehow, or is it too secret?" "It'll bear telling since you're of the guild. I've got to go to Ascone." "That place? How come?" "They've imprisoned a traitor, but keep it to yourself." Gorm's expression jolted into anger. "Imprisoned? That's against the convention." "So is interference with local politics." "Oh, is that what he did?" Gorm meditated. "Who's the traitor? Anyone I know?" "No," said Ponyets sharply, and Gorm accepted the implication and asked no further questions. Ponyets was up and staring darkly out the visiplate. He mumbled strong expressions at that part of the misty lens form that was the body of the galaxy, and then said loudly, "Damn this mess! I'm way behind quota!" Light broke on Gorm's intellect. "Hey, friend, Ascone is a closed area." "That's right, you can't sell as much as a penknife on Ascone. They won't buy atomic gadgets of any sort. With my quota dead on its feet, it's murder to go there." "Can't get out of it?" We can end with that. I don't have to read into the next page. Okay, here we go. Ponyets regarded the capsule distastefully. "I can see that, and I never knew one of these to hold good news either." It opened in his hand, and the thin, transparent tape unrolled stiffly. His eyes swept the message quickly, for when the last of the tape had emerged, the first was already brown and crinkled. In a minute and a half, it turned black and, molecule by molecule, fallen apart. Poignets grunted howlily. Oh, galaxy. Les Gorham said quietly. Can I help somehow, or is it too secret? It'll bear telling since you're of the guild. I've got to go to a scone. That place? How come? They've imprisoned a traitor, but keep it to yourself. Gorham's expression jolted into anger. Imprisoned? That's against the convention. So is interference with local politics. Oh, is that what he did? Gorham meditated. Who's the traitor? Anyone I know? No, said Poignant sharply, and Gorham accepted the implication and asked no further questions. Poignant was up and staring out the dark visiplate. He mumbled strong expressions at that part of the misty lens form that was the body of the galaxy and said loudly, Damnedest mess! I'm way behind quota. Light broke on Gorham's intellect. Hey, friend, a scone is a closed area. That's right. You can't sell as much as a penknife on a scone. They won't buy atomic gadgets of any sort. With my quota dead on its feet, it's murder to go there. Can't get out of it? Sorry, I got a jet rolling by. Can you hear that jet? When I'm not talking, do you hear a jet plane? Might have to tighten the gate a little bit. Hopefully that'll do the job. It's sort of cutting me off now a little bit, though. Take it down just a touch. And how has the compressor been? Check 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, not working at all. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And when the thing did the thing, then another thing happened. 1, 2, buckle my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. 1, 2, door, shut, buckle. Buckle, shut the door, buckle, buckle, buckle. Okay, good. Okay. Added a little bit of compression, I believe. That probably wasn't engaging at all. That will just be a little tiny bit. And we've got to go on to the next page. Poignant shook his head absently. I can pull that over here. Keep an eye on it for a moment. Poignant shook his head absently. I know the fellow involved. Can't walk out on a friend. What of it? I'm in the hands of the galactic spirit and walk cheerfully in the path he points out. Gorham said blankly, Huh? Poignant looked at him and laughed shortly. I forgot. You never read the Book of the Spirit, did you? Never heard of it, said Gorham curtly. Well, you would if you'd had a religious training. Religious training? For the priesthood? Gorham was profoundly shocked. I'm afraid so. It's my dark shame and secret. I was too much for the revered fathers, though. They expelled me for reasons sufficient to promote me to a secular education under the foundation. Well, look, I'd better push off. How's your quota this year? Gorham crushed out his cigarette and adjusted his cap. I've got my last cargo going now. I'll make it. Lucky fellow, gloomed Poignant, and for many minutes after Les Gorham left, he sat in motionless reverie. So, Eskelgorov was on a scone. So Eskelgorov was on a scone, and in prison as well. That was bad. In fact, considerably worse than it might appear. It was one thing to tell a curious youngster, a diluted version of the business, to throw him off and send him about his own. It was a thing of a different sort to face the truth. Ooh, truth. Heavy truth coming, man. Heavy. Okay. Let's pound through that right now. Everything looks good on the setup side. I think I should be sounding good. I added a little bit of compression. And let's go. Ponyet shook his head absently. I know the fellow involved. Can't walk out on a friend. What of it? I'm in the hands of the galactic spirit and walk cheerfully in the way he points out. Gorm said blankly, Huh? Ponyetz looked at him and laughed shortly. I forgot. You never read the Book of the Spirit, did you? Never heard of it, said Gorm curtly. Well, you would if you'd had a religious training. Religious training for the priesthood? Gorm was profoundly shocked. Afraid so. It's my dark shame and secret. I was too much for the revered fathers, though. They expelled me for reasons sufficient to promote me to a secular education under the foundation. Well, look, I'd better push off. How's your quota this year? Gorm crushed out his cigarette and adjusted his cap. I've got my last cargo going now. I'll make it. Lucky fellow, gloomed Ponyetz, and for many minutes after Les Gorm left, he sat in motionless reverie. So, Eskalgorov was on a scone, and in prison as well. That was bad. In fact, considerably worse than it might appear. It was one thing to tell a curious youngster a diluted version of the business to throw him off and send him about his own. It was a thing of a different sort to face the truth. Dun, dun, dun. For Lemar Ponyetz was one of the few people who happened to know that Master Trader Eskalgorov was not a traitor at all, but that entirely different thing, an agent of the Foundation. For Lemar Ponyetz was one of the few people who happened to know that Master Trader Eskalgorov was not a traitor at all, but that entirely different thing, an agent of the Foundation. Yeah. All right, so we can stop the recording right there as soon as I do a little X out, and then that is it out for that one. I have one other one to do right away, and we will do it right away. I will get the book shot back, get the overhead here. We establish the book shot. Poop. Pain in the ass. Swing the microphone out of shot again. Bing, 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 bing. All right. Book 4 of the Traders, Chapter 1. Thank you for stopping by, Dimebag Darren. World Headers here in the corner of my living room. Really appreciate you hanging out with me while I read Isaac Asimov's Foundation. We have just read Book 4 of the Traders, Chapter 1, and we will be on to Chapter 2 shortly. Please tune in again. Thank you, and good night. All right. So that's a done deal. Welcome back to Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room. And once again, we are back to visiting Isaac Asimov's Foundation series. This time, we're going to kick it off with Chapter 2 and continue our story. All right. 2 weeks gone, 2 weeks wasted. 1 week to reach Ascone at the extreme borders of which the vigilant worship at the extreme borders of which the vigilant worship speared out to meet him in converging numbers. Whatever their detection system was, it worked, and well. They sidled him in slowly without signal, maintaining their cold distance and pointing him harshly towards the central sun of Ascone. Poignets could have handled them in a pinch. Those ships were holdovers from the dead and gone Galactic Empire, but they were sport cruisers, not warships, and without atomic weapons. There were so many picturesque and impotent ellipsoids. But Eskil Gorov was a prisoner in their hands, and Gorov was not a hostage to lose. The Asconians must know that. And then another week, a week to wind a weary way through the clouds of minor officials that formed the buffer between the Grand Master and the outer world. Each little sub-secretary required soothing and conciliation. Each required careful and nauseating milking for the flourishing signature that was the pathway to the next official one higher up. For the first time, Ponyetz found his trader's identification papers useless. Now, at last, the Grand Master was on the other side of the guard-flanked gilded door, and 2 weeks had gone. Gorov was still a prisoner, and Ponyetz's cargo rotted useless in the holds of his ship. Okay, good to go. Chapter 2. 2 weeks gone, 2 weeks wasted. 1 week to reach Ascone at the extreme borders of which the vigilant warship speared out to meet him in converging numbers. Whatever their detection system was, it worked, and well. They sidled him in slowly without a signal, maintaining their cold distance and pointing him harshly towards the central sun of Ascone. Poignets could have handled them in a pinch. Those ships were holdovers from the dead and gone Galactic Empire. They were sport cruisers, not warships, and without atomic weapons. They were so many picturesque and impotent ellipsoids. But Eskil Gorov was a prisoner in their hands, and Gorov was not a hostage to lose. The Asconians must know that. And then another week, a week to wind a weary way through the clouds of minor officials that formed the buffer between the Grand Master and the outer world. Each little sub-secretary required soothing and conciliation. Each required careful and nauseating milking for the flourishing signature that was the pathway to the next official one higher up. For the first time, Ponyetz found his trader's identification papers useless. Now, at last, the Grand Master was on the other side of the guard-flanked gilded door, and 2 weeks had gone. Gorov was still a prisoner, and Poinyetz's cargo rotted useless in the holds of his ship. Page number, next one. Boom. The Grand Master was a small man with a balding head and a very wrinkled face, whose body seemed weighed down to motionless by the huge glossy fur collar around his neck, about his neck. His fingers moved on either side, and the line of armed men backed away to form a passage, along which Ponyetz strode, to the foot of the chair of state. "Don't speak," snapped the Grand Master, and Ponyetz's opening lips closed tightly. "That's right." The Asconian ruler relaxed visibly. "I can't endure useless chatter. You cannot threaten, and I will not abide flattery. Nor is there room for injured complaints. I've lost count of the times you wanderers have been warned that your devil's machines are not wanted anywhere in Ascone." "Sir," said Ponyetz quietly, There is no attempt to justify the traitor in question. It is not the policy of traitors to intrude where they're not wanted. The Grand Master was a small man with a balding head and a very wrinkled face, whose body seemed weighed down to motionlessness by the huge, glossy fur collar about his neck. His fingers moved on either side, and the line of armed men backed away to form a passage, along which Poniet strode to the foot of the chair of state. "Don't speak," snapped the Grand Master, and Poniet's opening lips closed tightly. "That's right," said the Asconian ruler, relaxed visibly. "I can't endure useless chatter. You cannot threaten, and I will not abide flattery, nor is there any room for injured complaints. I've lost count of the times you wanderers have been warned that your devil's machines are not wanted anywhere in Ascone." "Sir," said Ponietz quietly, "there is no attempt to justify the traitor in question. It is not the policy of traitors to intrude where they're not wanted." But the galaxy is great, and it has happened before that a boundary has been trespassed unwittingly. It was a deplorable mistake. "Deplorable, certainly," squeaked the Grand Master. "But mistake? Your people on Glyphtal 4 have been bombarding me with pleas for negotiation since 2 hours after the sacrilegious wretch was seized. I have been warned by them of your own coming many times over. It seems a well-organized rescue campaign. Much seems to have been anticipated, a little too much for mistakes, deplorable or otherwise." The Asconian's black eyes were scornful. He raced on. And are you traitors flitting from world to world like mad? And are you traitors? And are you flitting from world to world? So mad in your own right that you can land on Ascone's largest world and in the center of its system and consider it an unwitting boundary mix-up? Come, surely not. Poignance winced without showing it. He said doggedly, "If the attempt to trade was deliberate, your veneration, it was most injudicious and contrary to the strictest regulations of our guild." "Injudicious, yes," said the Asconian curtly. "So much so that your comrade is likely to lose his life in payment." Poignet's stomach nodded. There was no irresolution there. He said, "Death, your veneration, is so absolute and irrevocable a phenomenon that certainly there must be some alternative." There was a pause before the guarded answer came. "I've heard the Foundation is rich." No using the cough button there. Okay. "Deplorable, certainly," squeaked the Grand Master. "But mistake? Your people on Glyphtal 4 have been bombarding me with pleas for negotiation since 2 hours after the sacrilegious wretch was seized. I've been warned by them of your own coming many times over. It seems a well-organized rescue campaign. Much seems to be anticipated, a little too much for mistakes, deplorable or otherwise. The Asconian's black eyes were scornful. He raced on. And are you traitors flitting from world to world like mad little butterflies, so mad in your own right that you can land on Ascone's largest world in the center of its system and consider it an unwitting boundary mix-up? Come, surely not. Poniance winced without showing it. He said doggedly, "If the attempt to trade was deliberate, your veneration, it was most injudicious and contrary to the strictest regulations of our guild." "Injudicious, yes," said the Asconian curtly, "so much so that your comrade is likely to lose life in payment." Poniat's stomach nodded. There was no irresolution there. He said, "Death, your veneration, is so absolute and irrevocable a phenomenon that certainly there must be some alternative." There was a pause before the guarded answer came. "I've heard the Foundation is rich." "Rich? Certainly, but our riches are that which you refuse to take. Our atomic goods are Your goods are worthless in the way that they lack the ancestral blessing. Your goods are wicked and accursed, and that they lie under the ancestral interdict." The sentences were intoned and the recitation of a formula. The Grand Master's eyelids dropped, and he said with meaning, "You have nothing else of value?" The meaning was lost on the trader. "I don't understand. What is it you want?" The Asconian's hands spread apart. "You ask me to trade places with you and make known to you my wants. I think not. Your colleague, it seems, must suffer the punishment set for sacrilege by the Asconian code, death by gas. We are a just people. The poorest peasant in the like case would suffer no more. I myself would suffer no less." Poniance mumbled hopelessly, "Your veneration, would it be permitted that I speak to the prisoner?" "Asconian law," said the Grand Master coldly, "allows no communication with a condemned man." Mentally, Poniance held his breath. "Your veneration, I ask you to be merciful towards a man's soul in the hour that his body stands forfeit. He has been separated from spiritual consolation in all the time that his life has been in danger. Even now, he faces the prospect of going unprepared to the bosom of the spirit that rules us all." The Grand Master said slowly and suspiciously, "You are a tender of the soul?" Poniatz dropped a humble head. "I have been trained so. In the empty expanses of space, the wandering traders need men like myself to care for the spiritual side of a life so given over to commerce and worldly pursuits." The Asconian ruler sucked thoughtfully at his lower lip. "Every man should prepare his soul for his journey to his ancestral spirits. Yet, I never thought of you traders to be believers." All right. Closing shot. Get the book out. Set it up. Move the microphone one more time. Check, check, check. And that brings to a close Chapter 2 of our story. We'll be back with Chapter 3 shortly, as you can plainly see. Won't be long before we get back into the meat and potatoes of it, and you can see what's happening even now. Thank you for tuning in from Dimebag Darren World Headquarters here in the corner of my living room. Bye for now. All right. That is all I wanted to do there, was catch up, because I had done that once already, and then, well, I didn't record any audio. So, well, that's stuck there good, isn't it? Wow. Science. Holy moly, yoly. Stuck. It's like quicksand. Except there's no sand. It's not for people who are particularly quick. Like me. You go there. Wow, you're a mess. I made a mess. Oh boy. Don't ask. I won't tell, so. All right. That is now not recording. Cool. All right, so what else is going on in the great big world of YouTube? Well, let's look together, shall we? No coins to search right now, but oh, Nick's live right now. Oh, get over to Nick.
Let me show you guys what we got going here for the sticker pack. I'm not sure who's
Get into the sticker pack draw with everybody else. Keep on playing.
sticker this is. It's so, my goodness. You guys can hear me okay? Let me know. 907 Outdoor Adventures. That's cool. So that's going in with the sticker pack giveaway. Also, we have one of my stickers here, of course. Scrappin' Hoardin' Tickering Fun sticker. Diamondback Coins, hello. How are you? And Shannon Dalton in the house. Hello, guys. How's it going? We have straight up metal detecting tripwire.
All right.
Goodness, like that one.
We're going to see if we can get on panel.
We got Sterry's Lost and Found right there. Suffolk Searcher, Metal Detecting UK sticker. He comes into the channel all the time, leaves comments just like you guys. I do appreciate you guys coming in and watching.
If he gives me a link, we'll go
ads and all that kind of stuff. We got Looterate, Treasure Hunter.
Like Looterate.
Link, give me a second. Yeah, I'll post it in in a minute or so, Darren.
Okay, so he's going to post it.
Get through this here.
That's cool.
We got Ida Herring.
All right, well, I'm going to end this one. Why don't we all go over there? Anybody who's here,
Marlin,
and we'll enjoy his show, and whenever he lets me up, that'll be fine.
Shiny sticker there.
If he does. But until then, let's show Buddy Nick some love.
No, just the one Skipper and Ron E. Adventures.
Well, it sounds like Skipper's over there, too.
All right, that is the sticker pack there. And what's a sticker pack giveaway without a coin?
There you go.
Mint uncirculated 2023
All right.
of King Charles.
I'm going to hit the end button as soon as I find it.
I
don't know where it is.
Part of the giveaway.
There it is.
That is mint uncirculated right from the Royal Canadian Mint.
All right. See you
These are
later.
Nice.